Hey, you guys, welcome to our Sunday Life Lessons Learned from Horses. Today, we're going to be talking about the value of attention and in gaining our horse's attention and focusing, our attention. Are we attentive when we're working with our horse? So we'll be talking all about that. And my name is Wes Taylor, horse and human behavior expert. Welcome to our Sunday afternoon. I like to host these Sunday virtual clinics on the last Sunday of each month. So welcome. Glad to have you here. We're going to have just kind of a fun, informal, enjoyable conversation, kind of walk through some things about what's the value of this attention and how does it work and what does it look like when it doesn't work. But first, check out this background. Like this is the pasture right outside my house right here at the ranch up in Fremont. I just took this picture the other morning out changing sprinklers and tell you summertime is feeling good here at the ranch. We're at about 7,200 feet of elevation in the Fish Lake National Forest in the central part of the state of Utah. And so this is our pasture. This is where our Mustangs, our horses, a few of our Mustangs and horses are out there kind of hanging out, that we've got them out there with us, enjoying some pasture time. So we're going to kick off and get things started, get this going. Let's talk about attention. And first, I'm going to show you guys a few videos. And so I want to jump in and show you what these just kind of show you what happens when we don't have attention, like what's going on, what happens, what are we what's the trouble that we're having when we don't have some attention. So I'm going to share the screen here, and I want to go in and get this video started. Let's see here. We're going to do this one. Okay, let's see. Got you guys in here. Let's open this up. This is so this is what you guys, this is a video that's right inside my online horsemanship program. So this is one of the videos, if you're one of my subscribers or if you're in my online horsemanship program working with me in a one-on-one coaching or group coaching session, these are the videos that we use in the program. So I want to jump in and share this with some of you guys. You guys haven't been in my program before, so I want to give you a little insight of kind of how things work in my online horsemanship program. So this Mustang right here, his name is Rogan. And this was, he'd come to the ranch here in training, and I don't know, he'd maybe only been here just a few days. We just started working with him. And so this is our first kind of introduction lesson. And I was using him for the lesson on, getting a horse to back up and stand still. That's the pre-lesson to this one, is it being able to have your horse back up and stand still. And so that we talked about that last month. And so let me show you what Rogan was like. Let's jump in and let's take a look at where Rogan is at kind of when we start this thing. So I'm just going to play this video, and we'll go for about, I don't know, maybe about 5 minutes. But let me introduce you to Rogan.
In this lesson, we're talking about having your horse be able to back up and stand still. And this is the biggest problem that I see as I go hang around people is this, that he's nervous, he's tense, he's worried about these other horses. And so he's walking around and getting, right up in my space. And so we gotta have some boundaries, right? We gotta fix this, because this isn't safe to have him. One, he's not paying attention to me. Two, he's moving his feet all on his own. He's just all over the place. He doesn't know, he doesn't know how to stand and relax. And so he's just kind of all over the place and nervous and tense. And so this is how we get stepped on and we get pushed down and run into, and we really start losing control of our horse. When we're out at the horse show or at the competition or the trail ride or wherever it is that we're at. So I'm purposely not schooling him and correcting him right now, because I want to get that set up for you and show you what we're going to do with that. So we want to get him to where he can back up, and that he knows how, and that he can stand still on his own and not let his anxiety or this cortisol, this adrenaline that's going on right now, and this oxytocin withdrawal, because he's very connected to all these other horses. And so he wants to be with those horses. I mean, he's bumping me, he's walking into me, he's shouldering into me, he's putting his hip into me. mean, he's doing everything but being, you know, a respectable of my space. He's just all over me, pushing and leaning on me. So this is very unsafe. And for me, it's super annoying. It's like driving me bonkers that he's in my space. This just bugs me. So, he's kicking at me and he just can't keep himself out of trouble. He just doesn't know what to do. So we've got to help him out in giving him those boundaries. Boundaries lead to safety. No boundaries, no safety. And right now we have pretty much no boundaries because he is just in my space, walking into me. Now look, he's got himself right up here leaning on me. So should something happen over there that like spooked him or something he reacted to, he's going to freight train me. He's going to take me out because there's no boundaries. There's no attention. He's not paying attention to me at all. His mind is way down there with those other horses. So we're going to start with that. But before you start this, I want you to be in a very calm, quiet place. Know that this is going to be stressful. Know that this is going to create some anxiety in you. It's going to bring your cortisol levels up. You're going to be just the same as this horse in that your nervous system might get escalated a little bit. But what's on the other side of this is peace, is relaxing, is safety. And the way that we get to that is by going through the struggle, not going around it or over it or under it or avoiding it. We've got to take it on, deal with it. And there he just ran into me. I mean, this guy, look, now he's just bumping me. Whoo! Man, I'm like, raw. Relax. All right. So we got to get some stuff set so that we can have safety because this is just not safe. And he's breaking like every rule that I have in handling horses right now. So here's what we're going to do.
Okay, there we go. Like you got to see what a real problem, what a real issue that we kind of had there with having Rogan there, how much he was moving around, how much he was in my space, running into me, touching me, bumping me. His attention was all over. And so getting your horse to be aware of you. So we're talking about today in our conversation today is about attention. But before you can get to attention, and this is what we talked about last month, was getting your horse to back up and stand still. So we worked with that with Rogan. We taught him to back up and stand still. And because what we're doing there, we've got to interrupt that anxiety, that stress, just the horse feeling uncomfortable where they're at, right? They're just feeling anxious about where they're at. They want to be somewhere else. They want to be with the herd. They want to be back in the corral. They want to be at the barn. They want to be at the trailer. They want to be with their buddy. Whatever all of that is, that's it's driving them to where their body ends up moving, right? They're so internally, their engine is running on the inside. As you can see that with Rogan, he was just like, I need to move. I need to go. I want to be, somewhere else. He wasn't okay with where he was at, or meaning he didn't have safety inside him. He didn't have safety with him. So we worked on the back up and stand still. I want to go jump in and show you another video that is on how we're going to ask for this attention, because gaining this attention or getting your horse to where they're aware of you. Like you saw Rogan. I mean, he knew I was there. It's not like he didn't know I was there. He was aware that I was there, but his attention wasn't on me. His attention was down, in the pasture out with the other horses. So his attention was causing his physical body, trying to get his physical body where his attention was. So he was trying to leave to go make that happen. So let's jump in. We're going to go back into another one of my training videos. Let me open this back up. All right, let me get this set up here. So in my online school, you guys, there's videos, right? So there was a video of kind of seeing what the problem was with Rogan, right? That was him being very unattentive. He wasn't standing still. Like that was a lot of the problems, kind of showing what was happening. So in my online school, you got access to the videos where, like this video I'm going to show you right now, is the instructional video on how to ask for attention. You know, how do we get our horse to where they're attentive to us versus, you know, being attentive to everything else out in the world. So let's jump in. Let's go watch this video. And this is one of the instructional videos. This is like the third lesson in the restart program, or kind of the 30-day horsemanship challenge. First of all, you got to get your horse to back up, and then you got to get your horse to be able to stand still, and then we go to attention. So today we're talking about this attention. So let's go jump in and take a look here on how do we start with getting this attention with your horse.
You've got your horse backing up, and you've got your horse standing still. Now it's time for the most critical component of this, and that is getting your horse to pay attention, or getting your horse's attention. Now, I don't want to ask for attention until my horse is really good at backing up and standing still. So those two need to be in place first, and then we're going to ask for attention. Now, what I'm asking for in attention with, this is Indy here working with us today. What I'm asking for Indy is mostly her eyes and ears, and what I'm watching, and kind of the orientation of her head, right? Where is her attention? So right now she's very attentive, you know, towards me. So this would be her being attentive for sure. Now, if Indy loses attention and looks, you know, either to her right or to her left, here's what I'm going to do to gain her attention. Now, the important factor here is that your horse seeks you out and finds you, you know, moves her attention to me. So let's look at what this is going to look like. Well, let's imagine that Indy turned her head, you know, to her left or to that direction. So if her attention goes over there somewhere, I'm going to pick the rope up and I'm going to walk that direction. So here's what we're going to do with our rope. Lead rope management, very critical. So if she looks to her left, I'm going to, with my left hand, I'm going to draw this rope up off of the ground, and I'm going to reach for my horse with pinky towards my horse. It's going to look like this. I'm going to draw the slack, and I've captured my rope, pinky towards my horse. She walked forward. I got to fix that. And then we're going to start over again. All right. That's kind of the mechanical movement. Lead rope management, it's a thing. So be attentive to this. Here, let's just look at this again. Her attention goes to her left. My left hand is going to draw the rope up, and my right hand, pinky towards the horse. I'm reaching for my, I want to get as much slack out here as I feel like I need. Now that I've got the slack out, she's looking to her right, to her left. I'm going to walk this direction. So I want to walk until my horse, I've got her attention on me, like, oh, beautiful, and then I'm going to release. And then I'm going to stay standing where I am. I'm not going to walk back to center. Indy's going to stay here looking at me until she doesn't. Now she can either move her shoulders over to line up in a straight line, or move her hips over to line up in a straight line. That's totally up to your horse. I want you to stay standing still. So let's say Indy's going to look off towards the camera, towards you, right? She's going to get distracted. She's going to move the attention off of me to something over there. Left hand, I'm going to draw my rope up. I'm reaching towards my horse. I'm going to walk until I get her attention on me. Then I'm going to drop my rope, back up if they walk forward, and reset and just start over right here. Awesome. Now, let's say that she's going to look the other way, right? Her attention goes over to this other side. I'm going to change hands, right? So let's say that she's going to look to her right. I'm going to go to my right. So I'm going to change hands with my lead rope. I'm going to raise with my right hand, draw my lead rope with my left, pinky towards the horse, and then I'm going to walk in an arcing circle around towards my horse's hips. And when my horse's attention comes on to me, release. And then stay standing right here. So I'm not walking in a straight line away. I'm in an arcing line that I'm going to end up coming around to her hips.
Okay, that's kind of the how-to, right? We're gonna go watch another video where you're gonna see this in action with Rogan, because as you can see, Rogan had a massive problem trying to keep his attention on anything other than, the other horses out on the pasture. So the concept behind this, let's talk about kind of what we're doing there in that mechanical movement of, picking that lead rope up and walking the opposite direction that your horse turns its head. So let's pretend that you're the horse, right? If your attention goes that way, I'm going to pick the rope up and go that way. The principle that we're looking for here, that we're wanting to build in your horse, is getting your horse to seek you out, meaning that your horse is finding you. So something gets your horse's attention over there, and then when you pick the rope up and start moving, your horse has to disconnect from this thing and be attentive and come and find you. And then when your horse finds you and we create that release, remember, you want to release on what you want to reward. So when my horse seeks me out and finds me, I want to release. When my horse finds me or puts its attention on me, I'm releasing on that. That's going to be kind of little neurochemical, like I like to call it like a dot-to-dot puzzle. That's going to be the dot that the horse is seeking out and finding. Like when it finds me, there's going to be a release of pressure, which is me moving. It's going to be the feel good. So we want to build to where your horse starts feeling really, one, they're aware of you, and two, you want them really attentive to you, that if you start to move, your horse is like, oh, we're doing something, we're going somewhere. I need to be attentive. I need to have my attention between me and my person so that we can go into whatever it is we're going to go do. Imagine trying to take Rogan, like you just saw Rogan in that video. Imagine if I was walking Rogan, down the rodeo grounds or wherever, at the horse show or at the barn or out at the Krells or anywhere. Like I'm walking him along and he is going to be like all over the place because he is not comfortable where he's at. So he is like looking all over the place. That's where we get into trouble. Our horses get really upregulated. They're stressed and anxious. They start finding problems in everything. So this is what we're wanting to correct, is wanting to get this attention from your horse. We want your attention, the horse's attention, solely on you, not fragmented. We don't want your horse's attention in 97 other places. We want the attention in one place. We want that attention on you. So as you move, you're drawing your horse's attention. You're asking your horse to seek you out, to come and find you. And then that creates this neurochemical release, the dopamine and serotonin. When they find you and get the release, that starts kind of programming your horse that they want to be attentive to you, because it feels better to be attentive than it does to be fragmented and be all over the place. So let's go jump in and take a look at this other video with Rogan and just see how we're going to be working with him on getting his attention. All right, let's go share. Let's see, we are on this video here. Again, this is these videos are all in my online school, and you can see all of them in there as we're working through. So how my online horsemanship program works is, you subscribe and watch these videos, and we meet together on a Zoom call just like we are right now. But we watch the video of you and your horse together doing these exercises, and then this is where I offer I offer the coaching and kind of keep you on point and really keep you working forward and working good with your horse. So, all right, let's watch this video. So this is Rogan. Now we've already worked on the back up and stand still. So that in itself was quite a job. And I believe that it took us about 15, 20 minutes to really get him to where he would just kind of stand still and be okay with that. And then this is the same day, the same training session. We just moved into asking for attention. So let's go take a look in here, and we'll see how this attention tool, you'll see it in work in real time right here, because Rogan he is just all over the place. So, all right, let's go jump in the round pen and we'll take a look at Rogan and attention.
Is I'm going to start asking for more and more of his attention. And once I can really get his attention, then I'm going to kind of go to the next step, which is walk in and make contact. So let's watch him here for a minute. And I'm still going to correct. Anytime he walks forward, I'm going to correct it. But what I'm asking for now is I want to have his eyes and ears mostly towards me. Okay. So when he's looking away like that, I'm going to start asking for some different behavior. I'm going to start correcting that when he looks away. So I'm going to have the lead rope on the ground.
Hey, you guys, before we even jump into this, just look at the different behavior with Rogan so far. The only thing that we've done is back up and stand still. But look at the boundary that I now have with him. Like, he's not up in my space. He's not leaning on me and pushing on me and knocking me down and stepping on me. So just doing the back up and stand still, I finally got me a little bit of breathing room, right? I've got some space that I can work. So that's all that we really did with him, was get back up and stand still working. And I just want to point out how helpful it is that we've already got that working, and then we'll jump into attention.
And when he turns and looks away like that, I'm going to pick it up, and I'm just, I'll start to walk. If I can get his eyes and ears on me, I'm going to release. So I want that release to be when he looks at me. So I want his mind to start putting it together that if he'll just stay looking at me, then he won't hear from me. Right? So every time he looks away, I'm just going to pick that lead rope up like I'm going to talk, and then I'm just going to put it down as soon as he's looking at me. Over and over. So I'm watching his eyes, right? My eyes are on his. Step forward, fix it. Every time his eyes kind of leave this cone of looking at me, I'm just going to pick up. I'm not bumping and pulling. I'm just going to start to kind of walk off like I'm going to go somewhere, and I want to draw his attention to me. Every time he looks away, I'm going to try to get his attention. Now, I'm not pulling on that rope and like reprimanding him. I'm just asking him to come look at me. So I want you to watch this lead rope. It's loose between me and him. The only time it'll get tight is if I walk clear over here and he's not looking at me, then it's going to get tight because I'm kind of walking away. Right? I'm going to walk. As soon as his eyes are on me, I release. Every time he looks at me, I want him to start figuring out that it feels so much better to pay attention to me than it does to try to just look away. So this is another big reason of how and why horses move their feet, is because they're moving their eyes. Their eyes, their attention is gone. They're somewhere else. So we're going to watch him kind of struggle here as he tries to figure this out. But boy, there's our first dopamine release. It's going to start getting easier. The more they lick and chew, the easier this is going to get. So every time he looks somewhere, I'm going to correct. Steps forward, 1, 2, 3 steps, back to nothing, looks away, asks for his attention, over and over. I want your eyes on your horse's eyes, because when he looks at you, I want you to release that lead rope. It won't take very long before your horse starts to figure out that rope on the ground, to focus, pay attention this way, and life is better. So every single time he looks away, I'm just going to start talking to him. When I say talking, that means I'm talking with the lead rope, right? I'm saying something with that lead rope. Well, that time that lead rope got a little bit tight because he looked away. We'll move back up here. Reset, drop my lead rope, and then I'm just going to be asking for this attention. Over and over, we're working with the neurochemistry in his mind. Right now, his reticular activating system is telling him that he needs to look over there and over there to try to relieve the tension. And the tension is that he's not with his herd mates. So he's trying to take care of that by looking around and looking at them. And I'm just going to keep telling him, right here is where you're going to feel best, because that's where he's going to start getting this dopamine release, is when he's looking at me and relaxing his mind and focusing on me. We'll get some dopamine releases, and he'll start to want to focus more. So now we've We're starting to get him. When you start watching these ears, and when those ears get soft, that's when his mind is more relaxed. So when he looks away, you'll notice his ears are up and alert. And I'm just going to keep asking for attention. And we're going to watch these ears start to lay back and get softer and softer as we start changing what's going on in his brain. So again, this is about restarting your horse and getting their mind right. This guy can't even pay attention for like 1 second. So no wonder when he gets, kind of stressed and he just really starts looking around and moving his feet to try to find relaxation. So there he's licking and chewing again. There, we're starting to see those soft ears. You guys start watching those ears. There we go. Oh, it didn't last long, but they're starting. Head down, brain on, head up, brain off for horses. Every time he looks away, steps forward, we're just enforcing lots of our rules and boundaries. But I tell you, this is going to pay off so huge in everything else that we're going to be doing, because our horse is going to be able to relax, stand still, and focus. That was forward. I saw that leg cross over. Good boy. Tension. All right, come up here with me. We'll reset up here again. Three. Over and over. See, all this whinnying, that's that oxytocin, that's that herd bound, that nurturing bonding neurochemical in his brain. We got to wean him off of that. This is like a detox, right? Oh, look at all this release going on. Attention. See, the more release he has, this licking and chewing there 3 times, 3 times all together, that's his mind relaxing. So things are going to start getting better here, I'm hoping.
All right. We're gonna jump out right there. This video goes on. I'm going to show you another clip here that's at the end of this video. It's about 40 minutes later than what that was right there. But let's just talk a minute about what you saw right there. Like, you can see that Rogan was extremely drawn or very connected, or wanted to be looking at those other horses, right? He was having this sight trigger that he wanted to see where his safety was, because in his internal system, he was still running very much on just his instincts of what he feels like, which is, hey, I'm stressed, anxious, and worried. My herd mates are over there. I want to go over there to feel better. And so he was not attentive to me. And that's why you keep seeing him turning his head and trying to walk. Like, that's just his neurochemistry telling him, Mother Nature's rule for our horses is, move your feet further, faster forward for relief. Like, that's just kind of a hard code wiring of how a horse solves problems in their life of, stress or anxiety is, let's just move forward. Sometimes let's move forward really fast. Well, that's what Rogan was just trying to do right there. Was his internal system was just driving him to seek safety. You guys, there's really one question that your horse is constantly asking and is just always evaluating in the environment is, am I safe? And in Rogan's case, in the round pen with me right there, that question of, am I safe? The answer was no. You'll be safer with the herd mates. You'll be safer with the other horses. And so getting that chemistry to change to where Rogan can feel safe where he is, right? Getting him to relax, to calm down, to let that anxiety go. We're doing that by asking him to be attentive to me and to stand still. You notice that every time he would walk forward, right? Every time his feet would start going forward, that's his internal system saying, we should leave. We should go somewhere else. We should be over there. We should be over there. Like, we should be anywhere, because he doesn't feel safe in that setting that they're in the round pen with me. So we're interrupting that cycle of move your feet for safety to hold still for safety. And then we're adding in pay attention for safety. Be attentive to your environment, be attentive to who you're with. the handler, to you, the human, the partner, your friend that you're working with here. Be attentive, have your attention be there for safety. So we're going to jump ahead now. We're going to fast forward. We're going to go about 40 minutes further into this lesson. All I did with Rogan for the next 40 minutes is exactly what you just saw me do right there in that last video clip. I just kept asking for his attention and asking him to back up every time that he walked forward. So let's jump forward 40 minutes. This is the same session. Let's go take a look and see how Rogan is doing after having some more time of him working on this down regulation. All right, let's see here. All right, we're gonna go. Let me get this queued up here. Somewhere about right here. Let's go take a look at what we got right here.
Okay, we're gonna just tell him we got something for you to do. Let's see if he can turn off whatever his concern is. So we're talking to that reticular activating system, right? Every time he alerts and looks, we're correcting it, and we're telling that reticular activating system to turn down that threat or turn down, whatever that caution or whatever that draw is, to turn and look at something. We want to turn that down to where he can stand here and not trigger and look off every time, a horse swishes its tail out there. It's not too much to ask your horse to stand here and focus. It's not. It might be a lot here the first few times, but boy, once you get them dialed in and you get them to where they know how to relax and they can mentally relax with you, your progress is going to go so much faster. So we've worked on back up and stand still, right? We got that in place. Now we're working on attention, right? We want his brain on us, getting that brain relaxed. So now what I want to do is see if I can go 3 minutes without him turning and looking at something. Okay. So let's see what we can do here. We can put this together, and I'm going to be pretty generous in how I'm going to score this, because I want to win, and he's doing so dang good right now compared to where he was 10 minutes ago. He is doing fantastic. I love this. Head down, his brain is on, he's engaged mentally, he's relaxed, he's got soft eyes. Those ears could be a little softer, so he's a little alerted to something, but man, he's trying. He is trying really hard to do nothing. And I'll tell you, it's really hard for an anxious, nervous horse to do nothing. So teaching your horse to do nothing is a huge deal, big deal. So I got to teach him how to do nothing. You can't see it, but Cammie off camera is like belly laughing, because we were just talking about her this morning, that I can't get Cammie to do nothing. She is always doing something, craft, art, Facebook, Instagram. She's busy. But I was kind of like, baby, we got to slow down. Just do nothing for a minute. I should set a timer for Cammie. I'm going to do that. I'm going to set a timer for Cammie. All right. I can do nothing for 3 minutes. I'm good at doing nothing, because I'm going to stand here and do nothing for 3 minutes. All right, we're at 1.5 minutes. I'm being, he's walked forward a teeny step. He kind of looked a little, but oh my gosh, we are like 100 times better than we were just 15 minutes ago. So, and now if you notice, if you go back and watch this video again, you hear me say, he's starting to get a little anxious and a little wound up, right? He's starting to get a little tight, and I've backed him up a little bit to kind of help him relax. Quite
awesome. You guys take a look at where this horse ended up. Like, this is the same horse, the same day. This is one training session, right? This is just one, about an hour-long session. But getting him getting this neurochemistry changed, getting him calmed down into more of a relaxing, this parasympathetic, this quiet, this calm nervous system, getting those neurochemicals of safety and relaxing in place, all by just asking, interrupting the forward movement and then asking for attention. Like, that's really the only two things that we did here. Like, we didn't lunge him around in circles. We didn't, do a whole bunch of we didn't do anything. Like, really what you saw was right there. I just cut out 40 minutes of doing the exact same thing over and over and over. But this was just changing the neurochemistry, changing what the horse feels like on the inside by interrupting where the horse was finding its own answers and where the horse was finding its releases, by moving forward, by pushing into me. Remember the video at the beginning? Like, this horse couldn't stay off of me, right? This was just an hour ago. This horse could not run into me and couldn't be in my space. And then an hour later, you see him here against the fence. His head is down, low level neckline, quiet, soft ears, relaxed eyes, quiet breathing. His feet are holding still. That's a horse that is now ready, to engage and start having, new things introduced to it, whether it's saddling or bridling or picking up the horse's feet or trailer loading, whatever. That this horse now is in a neurochemical state of learning. Like, he can learn some things now, or he can have some experiences without that anxiety and the pressure pushing him to leave or to go away. So huge, huge transformational change in this horse in just a few, 1 hour. But all we really did was implement 3 tools, right? These are the beginning 3 tools that we start you out into my online horsemanship program. The very first thing you got to do is be able to get your horse to back up. So we did that with Rogan, and that just takes, there's a tactic to it. There's a little setup to do that, but get your horse to back up. Because we need your horse to be able to back up so we can interrupt the going forward cycle. Because every time they go forward and get that release, or they go forward and walk around you, or they go forward and look at the other horses, that's the horse creating the release on their terms, which causes more anxiety because they're trying to get to the horses, they're trying to get away, or they're trying to get somewhere else. So having that backup is critical to interrupt that. And then the next thing you need to have is your horse to be able to stand still. Or the scientific term is immobility without fear. This is paramount for learning. Immobility without fear. So your horse has got to be able to stand still without fear in order to learn, or to have a new experience, or to experience something different and have a calmness about it. And then we're just adding in paying attention, because where your attention goes, your energy flows. Same thing with your horse. Where your horse's attention goes, the energy flows. If you go back and, if we go back and watch the first video of Rogan, his attention was flowing, away from me and to somewhere else. And so you saw his body trying to follow that flow. Where your horse's attention goes, its energy flows. All we did by the end was get Rogan's attention very dialed in on me. So now Rogan's attention flows to me. And so that's where his energy goes, is to me. And my energy, we were just standing still and being quiet. So these are very simple tools to use that will make massive change in your relationship with your horse. Again, this is just the very beginning of my online horsemanship program. Like, we've got many layers of this in our online school that teach and show all of the hows and the whys. And we'll show you how to do everything, but the more important thing is I want to be able to explain why to do everything. As you go through my training program with me, either in group coaching or in one-on-one coaching, then we'll talk about what to do, and then we get into some great conversation of why to do it. That's probably the most important thing, is understanding why you're doing whatever it is you're doing with your horse. So I'd love to invite you to reach out to me if you feel like getting in my online horsemanship program would be a valuable experience for you. And I promise you it would. Look what happened with this horse in just one hour lesson. We went from completely, can't stand still, whinnying, running into me, to where, an hour later, standing still, 6-8 feet away from me, head down, calm and quiet, ready for the next lesson, ready to learn something, ready to do something with confidence. Reach out to me. PM me, get a hold of me, text me, call me, email me, whatever you got to do. Let's talk. Here's what we'll do. We'll jump on a Zoom call just like this, talk through what's going on with you and your horse. Let's see where you're at. Like let's get a real world evaluation, kind of what's going on with you and your horse. And then let's take it from there and see how we can get you into the program that will best suit you and your horse for the problems that you're having, and get a game plan, right? Let's get a roadmap that'll take you from where you're at, being frustrated, maybe fearful, maybe confused, and let's get you to where you want to be with your horse. Calm, confident, enjoying your time with your horse, feeling relaxed, feeling good about yourself, feeling good about your communication with your horse. That's what you guys all got horses for, right? We want to go out and have fun, relaxing, feel good experiences with our horses, not go out feeling like we're going to die every time, because that gets old. And the more you feel that way, the less you go out with your horse. So I want to help you change that. So reach out to me. This is of interest to you. I'd love to talk with you. We'll see what we can do and get something put together for you that I know will transform your relationship with you and your horse. So, hey, thank you for joining me today for our life lessons learned from horses, right? What can we learn from this little experience with our horse here? We'll just recap here for just a couple of minutes. What is it in your life that you are just like Rogan? Where in your life are you wanting to be somewhere other than where you are? Right? What's going in your life, in your circle right around you, that's so stressful or chaotic or confusing or cautious, whatever it is, that's got you running and gunning, trying to be somewhere else, right? That you're not comfortable where you're at, that you're not finding that peace and safety within yourself. And so you're always moving and always going, right? How can you back up? How can we remove ourselves from kind of our problem? How can we back up and take a bigger view of it? How can we just stand still with that? How can we just pause and just be with what's going on? Like, let me just pause and just take a real look at what's going on in life. And then let's take our attention and focus our attention on what we really want to have. Because where our attention goes, our energy flows. So I think a lot of us, including myself, dude, I look a lot like Rogan a lot of days. Man, I'm all over the place, like shiny object and ooh, fun thing or whatever, right? I'm all over. Backing up, being able to stand still, just be with that, put my attention, like, what do I really want? What do I really want? What do I want to create? What do I want to do? And then start relaxing and start creating those experiences little by little, and start building your confidence, start building your awareness about yourself and what you can do. So I love learning from the horses. I hope you guys are having a good time with your horses as well. I look forward to having you join me again. Fourth Sunday of every month, we do life lessons learned from horses, a virtual clinic like this. I'd love to have you join us again. Share this out with your friends. And I look forward to seeing you guys again. So thanks so much for being here today. Appreciate it. And I'll see you out on the internet or maybe out on the trail. All right, you guys. Thank you. Enjoy your night.